that I may do them and please Allah. That is the one purpose of knowledge. The second is so that I may know those things which displease Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And displeasure of Allah really means your own destruction, remember. There is no harm to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala regarding any person obeying or disobeying. So when we use the word pleasing or displeasing, it really means your own destruction or your own salvation and success. So the second purpose of the knowledge to attain or sit in the gathering of nasiha and dhikr is to attain the knowledge of those beliefs, those practices, those emotions, those tendencies by which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala become displeased, and so that you may abstain, you may stop doing them and may not displease Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this should be the intention. Another intention should be, after I will learn and practice, as I will be practicing, I will convey this knowledge and wisdom to myself first, then my family, close family, then my relatives, then the village or the area which I live in, then to the city, then to the province, and then to the entire country, and then to the whole face of the earth, and to even make intention of actually giving knowledge to human beings and jinnat of the entire earth. And also angels also attend these gatherings so that they may listen as well. Because some knowledge is given to you, human beings and Anbiya alayhi salatu wassalam, which actually some normal angels do not know. So they also come to participate in the majalis of dhikr and nasiha and majalis, the gatherings of knowledge, to obtain the more ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from Anbiya alayhi salatu wassalam and great awliya and salihin. An outward etiquette is that you sit in the mode of receiving, mode of learning and benefiting. Those things which you already know, a message comes, let's say a knowledge. I speak some words, for example, of knowledge, and the knowledge comes to my ears, to my brain, and I send a message. I already know this. You blocked your brain. You blocked anything to go towards your heart already. You shut the doors already. Because your brain will send a message that I am not listening to it. I will not retrieve or retain it. So you won't be able to benefit. So don't reject knowledge. Don't let your brain reject. That's why many people complain of that we don't remember things, we have bad memories. Really, they don't have bad memories. It is that they actually do not know how to use their brain. You learn how to brush your teeth, how to use other organs, you keep them clean, how to actually utilize your mouth, you brush, you clean. Your eyes, you save your eyes from harmful things. Similarly, brain is also an organ of your body, internal organ. You should learn how to use that as well. If you don't learn, obviously it won't give you what it is supposed to give you. Let me give you one example. Remember, this is the adab I'm saying. I have not started the discourse. This is some preliminary thing which person should know. For example, those people who appointments and commitments that I will do this tomorrow, I will do this in the afternoon, I will do this in the evening. If that person doesn't do how he has actually put in the brain and convey the message to the brain that I am going after Asr, I will do this tomorrow, I will attend the dentist tomorrow, I am going to say the prayers at this time, I will do dhikr at this time. If again and again you don't follow those commitments, your brain sends a message to itself that this person doesn't do, so it won't retain information next time when you will remind it for an appointment or a commitment, it will forget. Because you have actually abused it, so now you are having a backlash from the brain. The brain says this is a person who don't have any order, who don't keep commitments, so your brain will be trained in such a way it will forget things which you will put in. That's one of the reasons people don't have bad memories, but that they don't know how to use the brain. Those people who are organized in the sense that when they make a commitment or they have to pay a bill, for example, or they have to do something, they will do things on time. ये फोन भी उन्हें कहीं के बंद कर दें for the majlis actually shouldn't be disturbing in the mass section. उसका plug by निकाल दें. These are what I am saying, that all of the destructive matters that a person outwardly, when he will be secluded from them, only then the brain gives. This is one of the ways to use the brain which I am mentioning to you. Because your brain is very, very sensitive. If a phone bell goes on, if the noise comes out and you're thinking about that, and you're daydreaming, then your attention will be obviously reduced. So whatever you are supposed to listen and understand, you won't be. So this is one of the ways to how to use the brain, that you focus on something and let the distractions actually go away as much as possible. So a person who keeps his commitments to himself, I am paying this bill tomorrow, I am going to the dentist tomorrow, I am praying at this time, Zuhur, Asr, he will have a strong memory. He won't have a strong memory in the sense he didn't have before. Memory was already there, now the brain will be trained in such a way that the brain will say that this person keeps what actually he puts in me. And he does that thing, because the brain can then know that you have done or not. Then it will be trained in such a way. Next time you will have anything in your mind, commitment, the brain, it will remind you. I'm just giving you this very simple example, that a person should know how to use his brain, rather actually also he knows how to use other things and organs of the body and machinery and computer. A computer might be very powerful. It might have a very powerful memory. It might have very super functions. If I don't know, I can't even check my email. I can't actually save one file of one page in it. I'll say my computer is rubbish. It can't even save anything. I press button and then I see the screen actually just goes clear after some time. For someone who knows, that he says that there is a way, firstly you write, and then there's a way to save it, and when you save it, it will save millions and millions of words and pages, not even one page. So has the computer become more powerful, or the person has learned to use it? So think of your brain as well as a machine which you should be, and you should learn how to use it. There are few people who have this memory problem, not many. Others, just because they have ruined themselves either, like the way I said, or they don't know how to use it. And there are some minority who actually have weak memory. But if someone has a weak memory, it doesn't mean actually that they will become further away from Allah. If someone has a strong memory, it doesn't mean they will come closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the person who forgets. For example, let's say you are fasting. You don't have strong memory. You forgot that you were fasting and you ate something. You ate something. Now the Sharia is the law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, says that your fast is perfect. Your fast is perfect because actually you have forgotten something and ate. Rather, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that Allah has fed this person. A person who drinks or eats in the fast by forgetfulness, Rasulullah said, it is Allah who has fed him. The rizq was in his destiny. Imagine, this gives us a lesson that the rizq is going to reach you even though you don't want it. A fasting person don't want to eat. A fasting person don't want to eat. He don't want to ruin his fast. He don't want to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But you see that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that Allah fed this person. That this rizq was in his destiny. Although Allah's command is not to eat, the person doesn't want to eat, but still he will eat something. And some people really eat quite a few minutes and they don't remember. And some immediately remember. Different actually people, different, however actually Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to feed the person. When the desired rizq will reach you, your stomach, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will remind you, you are fasting. Immediately it will be. Such a strict order that if the rizq is not in your destiny, you have to throw. And normally people who are fasting, as soon as they remember, they chew the whole the morsel and they will actually go and throw it out. So here message there, and this is giving you a message, this is teaching you a lesson. The rizq which Allah has destined will reach you, and the rizq, the provision which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not destined will not reach you. But we should adopt the means. It doesn't mean, because like this person fasting, he's adopting the means. He has actually made intention not to eat. So he is adopting the means, and even after adopting the means, that rizq will reach you, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has destined you. And if you don't adopt the means, that is foolishness. So like some people were coming on the motorway, there was a big accident on the motorway yesterday in the evening. This big accident caused the traffic to stop. On the motorway, you can't even stop your car for 1 minute. You have to stop on the left side, hard shoulder. You can't imagine even stopping for 1 minute there. But these people on the middle of the motorway, there were some people on the middle of the motorway stopping on a very busy motorway and praying their Maghrib Salam. And they were prostrating on the middle of the motorway. On the very middle of the motorway, they are prostrating, they are doing sajda. Could they imagine that ever they would do sajda on a motor, not on a normal local road, not a footpath, but a motorway where a car can't stop for a second? And they will do sajda on that place, and that place is going to witness on the Day of Judgment. I think there will be few motorways who will be witnessing that people do sajda on them. Because people normally pass. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so you can just see that after adopting the means, if something, then whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants will come, whatever He doesn't want will come. But we are instructed to adopt the means. So forgetfulness is not actually that a person has a weak memory, he is now damned, or he is bad, or he is evil. No, he will be judged according to his own capability and intellect on the day of judgment. People who are highly intelligent, they will be judged according to that. People who are sharp and shrewd, they will be judged according to that. People who are simple, that's why Prophet ﷺ said, Akthar, the most of Ahlul Jannah, buhla. They will be simple people, straightforward, simple-minded people. Rasulullah said, the most of the people of Jannah, they will be straightforward, simple people, which some people think that they are very, very simple, straightforward, and other people who think they are very clever, they make mockery of them, they think they have actually deluded them, they have deceived them somehow. So majority of these crafty and clever people who think they are very clever, they will be in the hell. The simple-minded people, straightforward people, decent, they will go into the most of them. Abu Jahl was called Abu al-Hakam in the beginning. The Meccan, the Arabs, they call him Abu al-Hakam, the person of judgment. We will give very striking and judgments in disputes amongst people. Any problem will be brought and he will give a judgment. He will tell you a solution for it. And people gave him this title. But after this person rejected the knowledge which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent through Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and rejected the personality, then he is known as Abu Jahl. Knowledgeable person known for his wisdom, but then he becomes Abu Jahl, the father of the ignorance. So similarly, those people who you see are very, very up to date. I know this, and I have done this degree, and I've done this PhD, but if they are rejecting, not benefiting from the knowledge of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they are also like Abu Jahl, meaning on a lesser degree, they are not considered knowledgeable people in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Although they might think the people respect us and we are running companies but that knowledge will be of no avail. So these are some of the adab and etiquettes a person shows. Try to be conscious and present here. And internally also means that you don't actually let your thoughts wander here and there. You don't actually use your mobile. Try actually to give it a rest as well. And inshallah, your mind will become at rest as well. And you will retain that knowledge. This is one of the ways to learn how to use the brain. तो अब शुरू करते हैं. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह नहमदुहु व नस्तईनुहु व नस्तगफिरुहु व नु'मिनु बिही व नतवक्कलु अलैहि व नअूज़ु बिल्लाहि मिन शुरूरि अनफुसिना व मिन सय्यिआति अअमालिना मन यहदिहिल्लाहु फला मुदिल्ल लहु व मन युद्लिलहु फला हादिय लहु व नशहदु अन ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह व नशहदु अन्न सय्यिदना व मौलाना मुहम्मदन अब्दुहु व रसूलुहु सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि व अला आलिहि व अस्हाबिहि वसल्लम. अम्मा बअदु फअऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम. बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम. इय्याका नअबुदु व इय्याका नस्तईन. इहदिनस सिरातल मुस्तक़ीम. सिरातल लज़ीना अनअमत अलैहिम गैरिल मग़्दूबि अलैहिम वलद्दाल्लीन. सदक़ल्लाहुल अज़ीम. In the Seeratul Fatiha, a person is asking a question. Allah taught us to ask a question, and that question is about the path to Allah. Seeratul. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, innaka latahdi ila siratin mustaqim. Siratullahi lahu ma samawat. Seeratul Mustaqim, the straight path. And whole of the Quran from Alif Lam Mim to Wan Nas is the answer of that question. A short question, a very long answer. So Fatiha is basically a question. And whole of the Quran is answer to that question. The beauty of that is that Allah is the one who taught the question, Allah is the one who answered the question. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taught the question, Allah has answered the question. Because if we were asked to ask a question, we might have asked to Allah, give us more money. I don't have a son, give me a son. We would ask according to our level. I like that car, give me that car. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not leave the question to us, but these people even do not know how to ask a question. They will ask something limited. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what did He guide them to ask? Ihdi, guidance. Hidayah is the most valuable thing. Whoever has this hidayah, he is a beggar, he is a king, he is young or old, woman or man, rich or poor, he is successful. Whoever doesn't have hidayah, he is a king or president, rich, whatever, he is unsuccessful. And the Quran is full of the stories of these people who were kings, who were leaders, who were rich people. But this part, the hidayah, ihdina, guide us, this hidayah was missing, and Allah showed their end in the Quran, what happened to them. The Quran also shows the end of those people who didn't have much material wealth, but they had hidayah, they had the guidance, they were poor people. And the Quran also shows their end, that end. Their end was very praiseworthy and successful. And who will guide to Seeratul Mustaqim? Now I can say, I have a straight path. You can say, I know the straight path. And anyone say they have a straight path? The Christians say we have straight path. We also have a kind of, everyone has a straight path of themselves. I am doing a lot of charity work, brother, but I am not praying. I know Allah will forgive me due to that charity. So my straight path is, I thought this is the straight path. I am working for my children and family, and this is a worship as well. I don't have time for deen. That is the kind of straight path which I have actually defined myself. Another person, I will participate politically and become an MP and president, and look, I am looking after all the people, alhamdulillah, and mosques and things, and I will achieve salvation. This is my concept of Seeratul Mustaqim. It's very important to know that what inside of Allah, what is Seeratul Mustaqim, the straight path. A person might have an idea, I am building a mosque, I am the committee member, I am the president, or I am the secretary, I am running the mosque or the Islamic center and building mosque after mosque. And by myself, I have built mosque, but I have never become a true musalli, a person who prays. His prayers. But I have built the mosque. And I think, because other people will pray in it, I will also get reward and be forgiven. This is my concept, straight path. And the other people just think that I think, they don't know really, they think. They say, I think I love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I think I love the messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I will be with him on the day of judgment. That is their concept of straight path, which even the companions did not understand this concept, which this person have understood. Like he is actually And then there are other people who left the Sharia, who are not praying, who are doing dhikr, and who are secluded somewhere, and men and women are mixed, and they are learning and becoming spiritual. They are brothers, we are becoming very spiritual people. And because the spirits are neither female and male, it doesn't matter if we mix as well. Very good theory. But the problem is that now you are not in the form of spirits only. You have a body. So these people participate and they are becoming some kind of spiritual in their own notion, men and women mixing and doing dhikr or doing meditation and utilizing all these, some of the non-Sharia, against Sharia means not even praying and think we are enlightened somewhere, we are already in the heavens. Their concept of Seeratul Mustaqim is also there something. They also have a concept of Seeratul Mustaqim. But which is the Seeratul Mustaqim of Allah? Where is that? And there are some people who consider that in the Ramadan they become the pious people, they are attending the mosque. And they are actually, mashallah, praying Tarawih and doing other things. These people also have a concept that after only for 1 month they are, and then rest of the year they slack on their prayers. Now in the adab, I also forgot to mention that if person feels sleepy, as human being, he can fall sleepy, he can become ill. They are instructed, they should go and sleep. There is no benefit in sitting actually here then, because then they can at least do the next task very well. Okay. Some people are ill, some people. Rasulullah said that if a person is doing a worship, let's say he's praying Quran, or he's reciting Quran, he's doing nawafil, or he's doing some other thing, then Prophet ﷺ said that if sleep overwhelms him, he should go and have rest. He should go and sleep. Alhamdulillah. There is no harm in there, it is good thing. It is following sunnah, the following instruction of Rasulullah. But please don't sit here and sleep, and nor go into muraqabah. This is not time of meditation. So inshallah try it, and inshallah you sleep, you will get fresh, you will do it. That's why the first people who follow the rules which are mentioned to them, like they are asked to sleep at, for example, sleep time which is given Fajr and Dhuhr, and they think I am going to become a really true worshipper, I will do zikr and I will do salatul du'a and things. But then from necessary things they will actually be lost. So even though people are not used to sleep after Fajr, many people they're not used to sleep. But if they do lie down, after 1 or 2 days they will learn to sleep. They can train their mind and biological clock to sleep at that time. So sleeping should be ample. The Mashaykh says a person should sleep enough, the person is fresh. So 6 hours, 7 hours sleep, alhamdulillah. If it is, then a person should sleep another time as well for half an hour or so. Only then you will remain. Because otherwise the body will fulfill its needs somehow. You see, if you don't do Kailula means to have a nap, short sleep. The psychologists and the people who study sleep, they say that the mind is programmed to sleep twice. The mind is programmed to sleep twice. One for a long sleep, one for a short sleep. When you won't sleep a long sleep and you won't sleep the short sleep, the body will fulfill its needs somehow. You don't sleep, you'll be driving a car and you'll be asleep. Is that a good place to have a nap? On the middle of motorway? Or was that good that you follow the sunnah, that you've eaten something day and night or whatever, and you say, I will actually have a 20 minutes, half an hour, and alhamdulillah you'll be fresh. Or you might be actually sitting in a majlis of dhikr and you might go to sleep. So remember, the body will fulfill its function. It will grow the effects of full capability, the full abilities will not be there, and you will be feeling drowsy. Maybe 15-20 minutes you become okay then. So the body will by force actually gain whatever it wants from you. So you will not neither have a real rest, neither actually then some necessary things you will be doing, and you might actually fall asleep in that time. So follow Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, sleep for a long period, like 5, 6, 7 hours, and then have another set of sleep, rest 20 minutes, half an hour, and then inshallah you will be performing at a higher level. So, yeah. But as I said, there is no harm. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did instruct people that if sleep overtakes you, reciting Quran, reciting or prayers, then just go and sleep simply. Tarawih may be a masla. Tarawih is a sunnah prayer. If a person is half asleep and half awake in Tarawih and just don't know anything other than he is moving up and down with the people, it is recommended that that person also go and sleep. It was not actually first or wajib to pray Tarawih with Jamaat, you can pray on your own as well. So if बहुत ज़्यादा नींद आ गई है, then go and sleep or and leave them others after. So I was saying to you that concept of Seeratul Mustaqim, the straight path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Different people have different concepts. Different people have different ideas, but Allah does not accept those ideas. And that concept, Seeratul Mustaqim, where we will find the Seeratul Mustaqim which we have asked to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Suratul Fatiha, where we will find that? Allah said in another verse to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَإِنَّكَ, verily you, and it means only you. وَإِنَّكَ لَتَهْدِي إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. You are the person, to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you are the one who will guide toward the Seeratul Mustaqim. So now it has been defined, finished the matter. That's why our Shaykh have named this course Tariqa Muhammadiyya, the way, the Sirat, the path of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because that is the one only Siratul Mustaqim. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِنَّكَ لَتَهْدِي إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ, that your path of Muhammad, you guide towards Siratul Mustaqim. Seeratul Hilladi, the path of Allah, who is the Lord of heavens and earth. That is the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah is saying, my path is also the path of which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam teaches. So that's why Mashaykh says it is Tariqa Muhammadiyya. Tariq means path and way, and Sirat, and Muhammad means the path which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the Quran itself asks a question, and then it answers you as well. That where you will find وَإِنَّكَ لَتَهْدِي, that you guide. The person is asking, Ihdina, oh Allah, guide us. And Allah is saying, وَإِنَّكَ لَتَهْدِي, oh messenger, you will guide them. إِلَى صِرَاطِ مُسْتَقِيمٍ, towards the path of the straight path. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that don't think the path of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is different other than my path. This is Seeratul, this is my path. This is Seeratul Mustaqim. Seeratul Mustaqim, the path of Allah. But how will it reach us? Because many people are confused. The ideas which I gave you before, everyone I have built a charity hospital, I am in Jannah, I am helping the poor, I am in Jannah, I am doing zikr, and I am in Jannah, no matter I am fulfilling the rights of people or not. So everyone can say that we are good with Allah. If it was said the path of Allah, everyone can say I have a path of Allah as well. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then, to remove this confusion, said that Siratul Mustaqim is the innaka latahdi ila siratal mustaqim, the path of my messenger, the path of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So now bring your ideas and check if they are right now. Check against what Rasulullah did. And you will know that you have Seeratul Mustaqim or not have Seeratul Mustaqim. Well, you have your own idea, shaitanic idea of salvation. It will be beautiful, it will look good. Shaitan is not going to bring something evil and say it is good for you, which you know it is evil. You will be confused yourself that I am successful. Because from truly, even you ask most people, they will say we are spiritual people. We are religious people. Brother, you don't know what I do when I have some special virtue which I do. And I am a good person, I help people, or I do other things. So they have their own ideas. So I am saying that these all are rejected, only the way of Rasulullah is validated. And Prophet ﷺ even said, these people who go to these other ideas of salvation, become spiritual and enlightened, and then they leave many of the Islamic teachings, and they say, our Shaykh says this, our teacher says this, our Shaykh said this, no matter it's against Rasulullah way, because our Shaykh said this, we will do this. Rasulullah answered to this false idea of people. He ﷺ made it so clear, he said that even if Musa, the son of Imran, alayhi salam, the Prophet of Allah, was alive today, who spoke directly with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah spoke to him, and he still had that quality. If he comes back, Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, he still have that quality to speak to Allah. Imagine, to speak to Allah and to hear Allah. But Prophet alayhi salam said, he will also have to follow my path. And that person is in direct communication with Allah. And there can be no doubt the Prophet can be mistaken. But when Allah has closed all the doors now, so Rasulullah said, لَوْ كَانَ, if Musa was high, living today in the face of the earth, he will have no other option but to follow me. And we know this, and some people will see with their own eyes, then that Isa, the son of Mary, Isa bin Maryam alayhi salam, the great prophet of Allah, the great miraculous prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he will come, he will follow the messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Isa alayhi salam is greater than any other shaykh of the world, any wali of the world, because he is a prophet of Allah. Musa alayhi salam is greater than any wali of the world. So when they have to leave their own paths and own shariahs, own ways, and own order of Sharia and follow Rasulullah sallallahu, so who is now in this ummah to say that no, my shaykh have a different order, he has a different sunnah, he has a different methodology, no matter it is against Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he says no, I have I'm following this order or this path or this theory or this jama'ah. Really, these people are deluded people. Because after Rasulullah sallallahu, any path a person will follow which is against it, they sooner or later will actually be destroyed. And they will be following no one other than shaitan. So now, these discourses are really to obviously teach and remind myself and yourself, and for those people especially who for themselves they want to learn the path of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and how to teach and to others as well. How to teach others as well. How to convey the message to others. How Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam changed the lives of companions. His blessed methodology. His blessed way to do that. And how to bring a sinful, let's say, brother who is actually away from deen, how to bring him back to Allah. Who have followed other people, who are following other fashions and others, and then they actually have left the lifestyle of Rasulullah, how to bring them back. pop stars of the world, many of them, they say they became Muslim and died. So me and you, I am still wearing the shirt like a certain pop star, and maybe that he has left it complete and put it in bin. But I am still. So what to say about my wisdom, that how actually I am. So now we begin how our Mashaykh actually taught, and how Mashaykh they learned from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the light of Quran and Hadith, and from the generation, and from Prophet ﷺ, his blessing path. It begins from the teaching that the initiation process is to firstly pray 2 rakat nafal salah for the pleasure of Allah, and for the guidance and wisdom, in order to reconnect the people to his path, his way. Let's say you go to a brother and you say you want to teach him deen, you want to bring him out of sin, out of the lifestyle. This is not the proper way to just go and say, brother, you are doing bad things and this is not good. And he knows that already, maybe more. Or you want to initiate the person on the path of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, on the tariqah Muhammadiyah, on the path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So those people should especially take and note actually who want to learn to teach this path to others, do the halaqat and initiate people. So what we will begin with, Rasulullah said, firstly pray 2 rakat nawafil salah, 2 rakat nafal of salat al-hajat for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because the guidance is going to come from Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, innaka la tahdi man ahbabta. Whoever you love, that person will not receive guidance. Walakin Allah yahdi man yasha. Allah will guide whomever actually so he will. Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam loved the whole ummah came upon guidance. Not everyone knows this. The Prophet ﷺ desired and he loved the ummah to be on guidance, and all ummah, Abu Jahl, Abu Lahab, amongst the tribes of Quraysh, they didn't actually come on guidance. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, innaka la tahdi man ahbabta. The people who you like to be guided and who you love, necessarily they will not be guided, because for guidance, a want is required. There is a value, there is a price for guidance. And that price is that the person should have the true want to have that guidance. So our job, if we want people to come towards guidance, is to develop that want in them, that desire, that thirst in them. Then the guidance comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is Musarrif al-Qulub. He has rules and regulations when he will change the hearts of people. But when it will be changed, I told you one very pivotal thing, when they will have the want and yearning. So I can't guide them, but I can build that thirst and yearning and that true desire to be guided in them. And that is the price, and that is which, if they will have this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does guide them. So, because the guidance will come from Allah, if you want to do a bayan, let's say, a person, your family member calls, brother, it's month of Ramadan, come and we want you to give a talk. Or you come into the mosque, or you have a study circle, that brother, they ask you to give a talk. What is the way? You just go there and prepare some notes and give talk? Yes, you can do that, but that is not the way of Anbiya. That is not the way of Awliya. Sorry. Because they rely on the guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The guidance is the water of guidance. The water of life will come from Allah. The thirst for that water, you can develop as well. I cannot guide, but I can develop that thirst in the person. You see, the relationship. One is the guidance and hidayah, and one is the want for that hidayah. Guidance comes where the want is, and I don't have the guidance to give the other person, I cannot change his heart, but I can develop that want in that person. And then inshallah he will be guided anyway by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because he has the prerequisite. So Shaykh, in the light of teaching of Prophet ﷺ, saying that firstly a person should submit to Allah. He should pray two rakat, Seeratul hajat, prayer of need. Oh Allah, I am of a duty and I have been charged with this to go, I'm going to these brothers or these sisters to give them the siha or to get them out of the shaitanic and the devilish slavery, or to give a speech in the mosque or in the center, anywhere. So what you do, the first thing, individually or for collectively, you do wuzu, repent, be yourself in with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first. Let your relationship, if your self-relationship is ruined with Allah, what are you going to give other people? They will also get defective message. They will get message, they will get defective message. So first thing we should do in the initiation process, or to do a bayan, or to do actually guide, is ask the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be with you. Because when Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, he was given the orders to go, فَاذْهَبْ إِلَى فِرْعَوْنَ إِنَّهُ طَغَى فَقُلْ هَلَّ كَيْنَ أَن تَزَكَّى وَأَهْدِيَكَ إِلَى رَبِّكَ فَتَخْشَى. Musa alayhi salam said that, oh Allah, that I can't speak very well. There is some difficulty in speaking. Plus I have killed by accident a person amongst them, and they blame me that I have killed them intentionally. And I fear that they will actually take revenge from me. And I can't speak very well. So he is being simple. He is actually asking help from Allah. What are these words saying in other words? Ponder over. It is not word. It is the way to show ajizi, tawadu. Otherwise, Musa alayhi salam was the Prophet of Allah. He had this intellect, he had the wisdom, and he could speak with wisdom as well. But when he sent for dawah of Pharaoh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself is saying, فَاذْهَبْ, that you go towards Pharaoh, ila Fir'aun. So imagine that you are asked to go towards your friend who has also actually gone on the path of Pharaoh, who thinks, I know the way to live, I know the lifestyle to live. He also becomes a small Pharaoh. Pharaoh is not only the Pharaoh which has passed. Every person who says, I know better than Allah, he is Pharaoh. And I know how to live. Allah has created, he doesn't know how we should live really. I know how to live my life. So that person is also Pharaoh. Because in the Quran, when the Pharaoh is mentioned, he's not mentioned for that Pharaoh who has passed away. He's already passed away, he is meeting his end, he is experiencing the azab. And naru, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that they are fire of hell is presented to them. Evening and morning fire of hell is presented on Pharaoh and his army now in the barzakh. They have reached their end. They are seeing the scenes. They are experiencing the scorching fire and punishment of the grave. But why the Pharaoh is mentioned in the Quran? For whom? For me and you. For me and you. There can be no benefit for Pharaoh now. Pharaoh ke liye koi fayda nahi. There can be no benefit for Pharaoh in the guidance mentioned in the Quran, in the story of Moses, peace be upon him, and Pharaoh. Only beneficiary can be you now. There can be no benefit for the people who passed away now, even in this ummah. Now there is no benefit of that affair. But yes, you who are living, you are the person who can capitalize or who can redeem yourself. But I am teaching you through the teaching of Rasulullah and the Mashaykh and the Quran that how to initiate. Initiate means how to start calling people towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And now first person is yourself. First person is yourself, this poor soul which you have in yourself. A person who is very compassionate with birds, that person is keeping 10 birds and is not feeding them. That person is keeping 15 birds and is not feeding them very well. I am going to talk to him, the brother, this is dhulm, free them or feed them, this is not allowed. And this person, when these people, they say, you are a very compassionate person, brother, really, we have actually learned from you, we freed our birds, we want to come to thank you. And then they come into his house, he has one bird in the cage which is near death actually, to starvation, which has really starved to the death. And they will all say, that whether you've been given these speeches for the last 10 years to us actually to free these animals and what we are seeing, look, it is almost actually closer to death and it is completely bones we can see of this bird animal. And then what he has to say? Because he can't say anything now. That is his own bird. This is the example of a person who is well-wisher of everyone, brother, come to the deen, come to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, come to Jannah, and his own bird, his own soul, which is in his cage, is dying from the lack of iman, is dying from the lack of the water of life and the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. His own is dying. So this will be known that this is all hypocrisy, or it is just delusion this person knows. So the first thing, or the first soul to give the message is which is within yourself first. So these teachings are not for others, they are after, they are secondary nature. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us this order in the Quran. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O believers, who means, this is simple word, you only have two letters. Who means save. Save who? The world, children, the other people. No, firstly Allah says, anfusakum, your own soul. Save this soul. This is also a soul. This is also a body. This is also one body, one heart, one soul. You have. The greatest right which you have is of this one, first soul. Have you not heard that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that when you give wealth to people, firstly, وَلَكِنَّ الْبِرَّ مَنْ آمَنَ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَالْمَلَائِكَةِ وَالْكِتَابِ وَالنَّبِيِّينَ وَآتَى الْمَالَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ ذَوِي الْقُرْبَى. Firstly, the closer people, qurba, the close relatives. Firstly, the close ones have more rights. Firstly, you give them your own wife, then you feed the wife of someone else. And your own children are dying and you're feeding others. This is not actually the teaching of deen. So when we are to give water of life and the divine food we intend to give guidance to others, where is the first right? Who has the first right? Who is most closer to you? Who is most closer to you, brother? You tell me, who is the most closer to you? Who is the most closer to you? Most closer to you? Family. Family is more closer, but closer to you, even closer than the family is who? Brother, you tell me. Sorry? Sorry? Your mother. Even closer to your mother. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But Prophet sallallahu already have achieved salvation. He doesn't need guidance. He's the one who needs guidance. Prophet sallallahu is closer to ourselves even. It is your own self, own soul, own nafs, own spirit, own ruh. That is the most closer, which is within this cage. This is the most closest thing to you. So when you want to give guidance, the most right who have upon you is yourself. That is why Allah Subhanahu mentioned, He didn't mention family. He said, O anfusakum, save your own nafs, wa ahlikum, then your mother, your father, your children, your wife, and then their. But this poor soul is dying due to the lack of iman and amal salihah, and we are doing so. This is, if a person has this order, then know that that person will cause more harm than actually benefit to others as well. Because the motive will not be right. His own self have not tasted, and he is not even on the path to self-purification, path to the pleasure of Allah, and so there can be other things. That's why there are fights in the mosque, one person blaming the other, committees are fighting, people are fighting, because the motive sometimes is not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The motive becomes the ego, that becomes the God. So one says, so God is the one who is dominating. So when a person says his ego is God, the person who made his desire, his nafs, his God, he will inevitably want domination. He will say, I want to dominate, I want to dominate. This is the fight of God. They are not going to sit there. Even if they are false God, but they are not going to sit there because they claim actually Godship. So they will. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that these people, some people have made their desires their God. So this becomes a God, a false God, while you are actually teaching others and you are being cut into pieces, your iman and amal inside you. So the initiation process begins to firstly to pray, to reqat, nafal salah, you enjoin, you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for guidance. Like I was giving the example of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, Allah is giving him permission. He is giving him permission to go to Pharaoh. But what he is saying, oh Allah, I cannot speak very well. My brother Harun afsahu minni, he is more fluent. No, but when in our gathering we want to be, I'm the top seat, I always want to be the president. But Anbiya Islam, look, they are, even at that time, Hazrat Harun was not with him. But he is preferring actually that he comes, he is given the message. And then he is showing his helplessness, Musa alayhi salam, that I am weak, oh Allah, look, I cannot speak very well. Why? He could speak very well, otherwise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would not send him. He is showing humbleness because at that time, at that very time, he had heard the kalam of Allah. So now he is comparing his kalam with the kalam of Allah. Why would he not feel that I can't speak very well? When a great Qari recites Quran, and you and me are just sitting, we think, oh, our tilawat is not good at all. It might be good already. But at that time, it was the first time when Musa alayhi salam was coming and he heard the kalam of Allah, the sweet, the most enjoyable kalam which only the Prophet of Allah has heard. Inni anallahu la ilaha illa ana fa'budni. And he liked that kalam so much. So when he thought that how I speak, he thought this is not good. Although the prophets of Allah, all prophets of Allah have a beautiful voice. Some have more or less amongst them, but they all have a very sweet voice. But at that time, Musa alayhi salam is actually comparing, after soon he has heard the kalam of Allah, so now his own speech is looking not good for him. So he is saying that, Allah, I can't actually speak, get someone, take someone else. Other thing, he is showing humbleness. He is showing tawadu. He is asking help from Allah. Then Allah Subhanahu wa ta'ala says that, Inni asma'u wa ara. That I am listening. I am hearing. I am watching and seeing. And I am with you. Look, these three concepts of the tariq which I quote again and again. Allah is teaching Musa alayhi salam. He is reminding Musa alayhi salam, you go, I am with you, Innani ma'akuma, I am with you, both of you, I'll be with you. Asma'u, I'm hearing, wa ara, and I am looking. So these three keys of awareness are not taken by any person or any scholar or such. These are taken from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How He told Anbiya al-Islam, and the Anbiya conveyed the same message actually to the others as well. So He's showing His helplessness and other things, and then asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help when He is going there. He's saying, Allah, help me with ayat, with signs, with power. Then Allah is saying, He gave them the sign of the stick, of the staff, which will become into serpent, and this is help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have this idea sometimes. We say, if Allah could do miracle for us, a karamat, this person will be guided. If Allah can show karamat for me, this person will be guided. But did Pharaoh become guided because of those miracles? No. These people are not misguided because they have not seen miracles. It's another reason. Abu Jahl with his own eyes and the people of Makkah saw the moon split into two, one half going toward one mountain and one half going toward the other mountain. And they even again actually, they said, no, we are not going to believe. We are not. Na ka koi jawab nahi. No, have no reason. Listen. Sometimes no, have no reason. वो कहते हैं हमने मानना ही नहीं. जब नहीं मानना तो उसका कोई वजह भी बात दफा नहीं. There is no reason sometimes. And there are other ulterior reasons, but these people do not tell. So Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam is asking guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is also giving us lesson that don't think that if you had some miracle, some extraordinary power, these people you'll be able to impress, whether they will come towards guidance. No, they're not going to come. Who are going to come? They will come with just the message of Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam. And who is not going to come, even though they see the moon split into two, or they see the staff changing into serpents, they are not going to come. But he, alayhi salam, is asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, requesting. And Rasulullah taught us how we can communicate with Allah. A person said, when I get affected, when I am very upset, I phone someone and I feel a little bit relieved, but sometimes that person is busy and I'm really distressed. I say that why you don't phone Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? You are phoning people, but you do not phone Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They say, how we can phone Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? What is the number? I say, it is only 2-digit number, 2 rakat of salat al-hajj. 2-digit number, you do the wuzu, and actually you pray 2 rakat, you are connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi. Can you give the other mic to the brother so that the people who are listening from home and they can listen to the question?
Like, for example, sometimes in this day and age, people come with very sophisticated arguments. They think it's sophisticated, and they say, we have our way. Like, for example, last week we met somebody who had a problem. They said they don't believe in the hadith. They only believe in the Quran. And for us it's simple that this is not, but they've studied and they've associated with people with the same understanding. How do we, and they use big words and big language, I didn't feel, this happens a lot with different groups, you don't feel you can debate with them or discuss with them. So have you got any advice for how we deal with these kind of people?
As you have heard what the brother is saying, mashallah, that he said that he had met someone, or sometimes we also encounter, for example, awkward people. For example, they would say, there are some people that I don't believe in the hadith. But they are very knowledgeable people. They have studied. They have actually studied the Quran, studied the books, and they are scholarly people. So how we deal with them? That should we argue with them or do anything? Firstly, as one should know that, as I said, that the knowledge, Rasulullah said, I seek refuge from that knowledge which does not benefit. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min ilmin la yanfa'. O Allah, I seek your protection. Save me from that knowledge that does not benefit. So knowledge always does not benefit. To make the knowledge into a beneficial knowledge, it actually have to match actually according to the teachings and life of Rasulullah. If you shouldn't be surprised to meet these people, because their teacher, which is you should be surprised to meet, which is Shaitan himself. He has more knowledge than them. These people only have studied books. He's even seen with his own eyes the lives of Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam. Seen with his own eyes the Jannah. So this is more surprise for him. So they are his actually students on a lower level, which actually are working. Because his destruction began also for not respecting and honoring the Prophet. He said, I'm happy with Allah. But Prophet, no, Adam is like me. He is very young, I am very aged. Look, I have 1,000 years of age. Some people have this idea. This person is young. He says Adam al-Islam is young. Look, he is made from the clay as well. And I'm happy to be with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but not one person. Allah did not accept this. So these people, when they say that they don't believe in hadith, sometimes one should inquire them, and giving dawah to them in a ways to inquire why don't they, for example, believe. So they might say there are hadith which are fabricated, and say that we also believe that we don't believe in those hadiths, for example. The hadiths are fabricated. But if they believe in the Quran, this is just like saying, I believe the sun has risen, but I don't believe the sun gives light. I don't believe in the light. This light is not of the sun outside. Outside, the light is not of the sun. I believe in the sun, but I don't believe this light is from the sun. So, the Quran is the sun, the guidance of Allah, and the hadith is the light of the same sun. So really when they read Quran, you ask them, and Allah said, Ati'ullaha wa ati'ur Rasul. That follow Allah and follow the Rasul. So following Allah means following the Quran, simple. So if the same thing is applied, Ati'ur Rasul also means follow the Quran, then why different words are used that follow the messenger? There is something additional to it. But the best thing is actually that you just simply should not engage into argument. If a person does engage into argument, they should do in the best way, so that at least you are able to meet that person again. So it is not the faces turn red and actually there is a fight going on, and then actually swearing words and think you are this and you are this. That is against the teaching of dawah. ادع إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة وجادلهم. If you have to argue, to Rasulullah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وجادلهم, argue or actually answer their question billati hi ahsan, in the best way. Don't lose your tone of your voice, don't become agitated, and just simply, tenderly, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the Pharaoh, to Musa alayhi salam regarding Pharaoh, فَقُولَا لَهُ قَوْلًا لَيِّنًا. Go and speak to him in a gentle way, in a soft way. So no one can be bad than Pharaoh this time, for example. So these people who will not listen to high-pitched voices, or you show your anger, and these are not effective things. So you speak with them and just invite them forward actually the true teaching that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran has mentioned again and again. Follow this messenger, follow this messenger. And we can only follow this messenger if this messenger have actually teachings existing as well. That's all. A person should not argue, but keep a contact with them somehow. And inshallah, if they will have the want and desire, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will guide them. We are not charged that we are to change by force everyone. So as I said, the people of Makkah, all people of Makkah did not believe in Rasulullah. So we should not take upon ourselves this duty to change anyone, but our duty is to convey and remind. Convey and remind, not change. Convey and remind, and not to actually change. That is up to them and between them and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So arguments, debates mostly are not fruitful. Very seldom. You've seen the debates happening between ulama. You will see on the cassettes, the video cassettes or on the internet that these two sides are sitting with very pleasing faces and smiling faces and happy, and I advise don't see what happened in between. Just see the last part. And hardly you will see anyone even sitting, they'll be standing, and like women they will be talking with their fingers and their arms, and they will be scolding each other and actually criticizing and rather even swearing each other, and that's the end. So when the end of something a person knows, then a person should not go on toward him. Just gently say if that person is not doesn't. Quran said, وَإِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ. People, when you address people or they show their ignorance, that they don't know anything and they're not understanding, قَالُوا سَلَامًا. Leave them in peace. Unless my people, they don't cause rift, they don't cause actually debates and arguments, they just leave them in peace. Meaning, if they're in peace, if you left them in peace, you'll be able to remind them again. You'll be able to remind them again. At least that person will be influenced, not with your knowledge, but might be influenced by your character. He would say, okay, we have a difference of opinion. I don't believe what he says, agree. But he really is a nice man. He's a nice brother. He speaks well. He doesn't become, he invited me to his house. And this might actually be an invitation as well. So sometimes you can't give knowledge, dawah with knowledge. You have to give dawah with your amal. How you are behave, how you talk. That is dawah for these disbelieving people or people who are not on the right path. So then they won't listen to words, whether this is the path of Allah, this is the sunnah, this is the no. They won't know, but you give them dawah with another technique, and that is your conduct at that time with them. That itself is dawah. That itself is dawah for these people. How you speak, how you behave, how you react, how you behave with them as a human being. So then you turn your switch to this type of dawah. Forget about the knowledge what he is saying. Then you switch to another mode. Actually, just be good. And that's what it means, qalu salama. That they say peace and they, meaning, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَإِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ. When the ignorant people address them and they want them to draw them into argument and into debates and saying bad words, qalu, they only say something which is peaceful. Qalu salama. Salam doesn't mean here say assalamu alaikum. That one can say that, but this will not give right message. If a person is that if you say assalamu alaikum, you can say that. That's also included in the tafsir as that. But salam really is that you speak with them in peaceful manner. If you not, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, these are not ibadur rahman, these are not ibadur rahman. These can be the ibadur shayateen. That they always, it is the shaitanic way to argue. Look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not argue with shaitan. Has anyone got more knowledge than Allah? No. And shaitan is putting an argument. Look, shaitan is putting an argument. Ana khairum min. I am better than him. Imagine the scenario that angels are prostrating, they're all there. And Allah is addressing them. Adam al-Islam is there and matter is happening in the heaven. Imagine the scene. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, yeah, they didn't become angry, displeased with him. He just said, Ya Iblis, oh Iblis, ma malak, what stopped you from not actually prostrating? And he's saying, Ana khairum min, I am better than him. Argument. Khalaqtani min nar, you created me from fire. And khalaqtahu min teen, and you created him from dust. Now if Allah wanted, couldn't he answer him? If Allah wanted to encounter his argument, who have more knowledge than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? But Allah didn't encounter. He said that if you do not, he did not answer this argument. He said that because he has become rebellious now, tatakabbar, you become an arrogant, abha wastakbar, ukana min al-kafiri, become a disbeliever, fahbid. Now you get out, escape, and descend from these heavens. This is not a place for you now. But still Allah gave him something. Look at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He still is, when he is sent down, he is still saying, Oh Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what is it? Anzirni ila yawmi yub'athun. Give me life until the afternoon. Don't punish me before. Although you are displeased, please don't punish me. Give me a long life. He could have died at that time immediately. Allah said, okay, fine. I have given you this. Go. Look the behavior of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with him and look at his behavior. So we have an example in Anbiya, we have an example in Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we have an example in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala how to encounter. So at that time you should also not go, that person is not, he is in the debate mode, he is not in the mode of listening, he is not the mode of believing, he don't want to be convinced, he don't want to actually believe even though you say something very logic, then at that time don't actually argue or with his arguments, but actually do something else. Be in a good way, good conduct. Alhamdulillah, say we should leave now and leave him in peace, and we say we'll see you another time. And inshallah you've left a ray of hope there. But if you have actually said to him, you are in hell and I will be burning in hell like a kebab or something, then you don't have any hope. When next time he sees you, the image of him burning like kebab will come in his mind. And he will not have nice words to say to you about that. So yeah. ठीक है अभी आपने वो दूसरे हलकात भी so you brothers can have a break for 15 minutes until 4:45 and then inshallah you can also, because near knowledge to learn, especially for the new people, to learn the basic level of aqidah, beliefs of Islam, basic level of the rule and regulations of prayers, and the basic level of tazkiyah which we will be going through, and inshallah then you can revise yourself after Asr or do other amal. So from Asr to Maghrib, Maghrib to Isha, and mostly Isha to then 2 o'clock you are free almost to do individual. So this is the only intensive session you have, and in between yourselves, after this you should remind each other, you should discuss these matters which have been said. And don't actually be surprised if you have not actually remembered what I said. I don't remember half of it as well. Whatever you have remembered, inshallah, do it. One person remember one thing, the other will remember another thing. Muzakara, you have it is actually good to do. And inshallah, then inshallah it will be beneficial. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. And try to live. More important than the i'tikaf is actually that you don't harm anyone. You don't cause discomfort to the brother sitting next to you, or eating next to you, praying next to you. This is more important. Rasulullah said this is harming a Muslim is worse than even actually destroying Kaaba. So the major, i'tikaf is sunnah, for some it is nafal, but to harm and cause a Muslim is haram. Then it was better that you were not set i'tikaf. So don't speak very loudly, don't shout at each other, don't become agitated. Try how you can serve your brother in a better way. This khidmah has actually great reward than i'tikaf. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi astaghfirullah.